Hey scholars, welcome to PJM330. I am Dr. Hogan. I'll be your professor and instructor for this course. As you can see by the expectation, I have a lot of high expectations for everyone within the class. I'm not going to read it to you. I'm sure everybody's able to read just fine, so please have at it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. One thing I do want to talk about within this class is one of those unique classes where we have a simulator, which you'll be dealing with Simon, who is an avatar, so to speak. He's part of the simulator who will ask you questions, give you guidance through the whole process of the simulator where you're acting as a project manager. One thing about Simon is you can't argue with them. It's very one way. The only way they try to interact with you is through questions, and you get a series of 3 or 4 answers, and by those answers they give you a response back. So it can be very frustrating in trying to reason with this person, avatar, whatever it is, Simon, but save yourself the headache and try to take it at face value as much as it is and apply the lessons that we've covered in project management in this course and from your experience into it. Key thing is try not to overthink it, because you can really drive yourself nuts trying to overthink the avatar and the simulation. Those of you familiar with Max Headroom from the 80s, we usually refer to Simon as his grandson because he's kind of a third or fourth generation avatar from back when the 80s we had Max Headroom. So again, just take it with stride. Technically, the simulation can be done in 7 hours, and we break it up into 7 modules. So I've had students in the past sat down for a weekend, boom, slammed out the whole simulator. But also, you got to keep in mind the simulator also overlaps with the lessons. So you may or may not miss something, but if you're comfortable sitting down, pick a Saturday, knock out the simulator, more power to you. I'll support that. No problem people getting ahead of the game on these on the simulator. One tip I will give you for the simulator: when you're working on the budget, you're setting up everything for the project, for these later programs, is set about $9,000 aside for training. It may not make sense now, may not see why, but in the future as you go through the course, think about, I think it's lesson 6 or 7 or 5 or 6, somewhere in there. You get hit with some training you have to budget for, and you have to go back to the stakeholders and ask for more money. But if you already budget it, that kind of takes away from all the asking for more money for the training that's required for the staff. So keep that in mind. As we go along, there are discussions in the discussion modules where you share your thoughts and ideas on the simulator. They are called Simulation Discussion Portfolio Project Forum, and this is part of the whole project portfolio. There, talk to each other about the simulator, things you learn, things you're frustrated with. Somebody else might have an idea how to deal with it, and may have a tip that helped them through. Don't be afraid to go in there and just talk about it. I mean, it's that simple. Again, bottom line, don't get too frustrated, wrapped around the axle about why is Simon being receptive to my thoughts. How can I reason with this thing? You can't reason with Simon. So I just recommend leave well enough alone, take it with stride, and try and enjoy as much as possible. Again, any questions, please do ask, and I'll see you guys in the course room. Have a great